done our own research about who should do that. It was supposed to be done immediately now by one of our very, very special fathers. He's a former Minister of Health who did not change his call card, his call numbers while he was practicing, while he became minister, and now that he's back and sitting on the same pew with us in church, he also has not changed his number. Please can we put our hands together for him and appreciate him? He has also been patient. He has also graciously agreed to wait a little for some other people to speak before him. Thank you very much, sir. But I'll bring up my colleague, Dr. Hamid Adediran, who is a medical doctor and a broadcaster, to take over from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Benjamin Ubiri. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the slight alteration to the program of events is such that right now we're going to have some keynote speeches from our distinguished guests who have set aside all their other engagements to honor the Nigerian health sector, to honor the Nigerian Medical Association, to honor every doctor practicing in Nigeria and of Nigerian origin. On this note, it's my pleasure to welcome to the microphone one of us that we're very proud of. He is ably representing us in the rec chambers, and we're all proud of him. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, he's represented us in the executive arm, having served as the two-term governor of Kwara State. His legacies still remain in Kwara State for us to behold. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it was announced that this program is being beamed live on Channels Television, and I also have honor and privilege to appreciate him in advance. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, please welcome to the microphone the President of the Senate and the Chairman of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Dr. Bukola Saraki.
And now we're about to listen to goodwill messages from a few speakers, and amongst them, kicking us off, will be the Senate President, Senator Dr. Bukola Saraki, the President of the Nigerian Senate.
The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, ably represented by His Excellency, the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, the Chairman of this occasion, former Head of State, General Yakubu Gowon, present and past ministers here present, President and members of the Nigerian Medical Association, my colleagues, distinguished senators here present, members of the House of Representatives, stakeholders, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be here today at this gathering of the 58th Annual General and Scientific Conference of the Nigerian Medical Association. For me, it's a special feeling to be amongst my own. The NMA has been my own, because I say that not only as being a member of the NMA at the time, also being one who was opportune, who my late father was also a member of NMA. And now my last daughter is about to also hopefully start a medical career. So I am here in NMA and I'll be here as a member and an associate for a long time. So this is one of my own. And that is why, I think, for a rare occasion, I had to excuse myself in plenary to say that today I have to break that my procedure to excuse myself and come here. And I thought that also I should come here and give you, the doctors, some moral support, because I knew that the lawyers and the SANs were coming and they might intimidate you. So I thought at least if you have your own, you will feel a bit not intimidated. Excellency. Let me commend the President, members of the NMA, and the organizing committee for organizing this program. for organizing this program and all the efforts they've put to making this successful. Let me also congratulate you for your years as in the leadership of the Nigerian Medical Association. The topics you have picked today for the theme of this conference is very appropriate in today's condition of the health sector in Nigeria. Whether you're talking about the Health Act and you're saying where do we go, where are we on the implementation, or we're talking about universal health coverage, or we're talking about medical tourism. For me, and for us in the 8th Senate that have provided leadership, our prime focus is really the issue of universal coverage. To me, I'd had the opportunity when I was governor for 2 terms to bring the idea of community health insurance to my state. We led that idea, and I'm happy to see that many states have followed since. Because generally you find as politicians, we tend to focus more on tertiary, secondary and tertiary. And it's very simple. When you're looking for votes, people like to see buildings and tapes being cut. So you've got to understand sometimes why the political will always moves towards tertiary. But the real focus, if we're going to improve our health indices, is primary health care. We must address primary health care. And in my little experience while I was governor, I realized that it takes a lot of effort, adequate funding, and political will and commitment. And that is why in 2011, when I had the opportunity to go to the Senate, we came about with the Health Act that we passed in 2014. But the job was not completed. And the job, as I'm sure you're all eager to know, is still not completed. But since the 8th Senate, I made a promise with a commitment and support of my colleagues that we would deliver a gift to Nigerians on the issue of universal coverage. And I felt there's no other place better than here at the Nigeria Medical Association Conference to let you know that with the support of the leadership of the House of Representatives and our leadership and our members, I am very confident that the appropriation bill that will come out in the next few days will have a 1% coverage for the primary health care. To us in the National Assembly, this is key to address the health sector. It is important. It has not been easy, but I believe that what else can I say if you have a medical doctor as chairman of the National Assembly and we cannot deliver on this. I might not practice again, but now that I have a daughter practicing, I don't want you to not allow her to register because of this. So we hope that by the time the bill is signed, we will have that 1%. And that is our promise, our commitment, which should be implemented this year. Haven't done that, or by the time we do that, the question now comes to, how do we ensure that our money is properly managed and utilized? And I think the NMA has a role to play here. It is not just for us to leave it to government. I believe that there's need for closer collaboration. And I think that NMA is truly blessed in having the fact that Mr. President himself, if he could have been here, but having the Vice President shows that government is ready to work very closely with the NMA. And I think the NMA on their own part too must work closely with government to ensure that we see the proper utilization of this. Secondly, also in the area of health insurance cover, we need to see, we are looking at the laws and see how we can make that a much better scheme to ensure, because here we're going to see private partnership within government and different areas, and we believe that this area we need to look at it properly to ensure that the right kind of outlets, the right kind of people are involved in the issue of primary health care. I'm hoping that the NMA will come out with ways by which you, in your own view, how best do you think we should manage this universal fund? How best can private sectors that want to contribute or support it? And how best in the administrative aspect of it, which is key to see how best can we manage this. This is an area I believe, I hope that during your conference, because I can see your conference is all geared to talking where will that money come. I think I've taken that, I ease that problem. So let's start talking about the money would come, is how best are we going to utilize the money and how are we going to administer the money. And before I conclude, the other areas I saw in your theme is the area of medical tourism. I believe here again as well, what is key in my own view, is for us to have an enabling environment that would encourage investors, those who are providing service in other parts of the world, particularly in India, a lot of our people go to come and invest those structures here. And also some of our good hands. We have many good hands who lack of capital, enabling environment for them to do that. But some of the efforts that the executive and the legislative have done in ease of doing business has improved that. I hope that here too we can work out what are those demands that will enable a lot of our well-qualified doctors who have the capacity, they have the ability, but they might not have the funding capacity. And we can see how we can work together to create that funding capacity that will enable those kind of structures to be established here in this country. That is on the area, largely on the tertiary area. But as I said in my opening remarks, the NMA, for us as a country, if we need to achieve one thing, it is to ensure universal health coverage and improve primary health care. This is the message. This is where I believe we impact on millions of Nigerians all over, because at the moment, we're still very much behind in this area. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to be part of this conference. And once again, let me particularly congratulate the President, who will be ending his tenure on Saturday. I promised him that I'll give him a parting gift. At least he can say it's under his time that we made this point. Because the way I see him, I think he has other aspirations. He will not tell us, but so at least we can beef up his CV so that it will be easy for him to win those elections ahead. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you so much.
Goodwill message there by Senator Dr. Bukola Saraki, the President of the Nigerian Senate. President, to know that he actually does come from a family of doctors, his father being a member of the NMA, and he said his daughter, and of course he himself is a graduate from the London Hospital Medical College of the University of London from 1982 to 1987, got his MBBS there, and actually worked as a medical officer at the Rush Green Hospital in Essex from 1988 to 1989. Still listening to Goodwill Messages today at the 58th AGC ADM of the Nigerian Medical Association.
And also to appeal to all of us and to thank the Senate President in anticipation of his support towards making Channel's business extend our time a little after now. Thank you very much in advance, sir.